us? What if somebody would have came got us? What if the saints would have fast and prayed for us? What if they would have just said forgive us? What if they would have given us like that? Oh, we sit in a lap of luxury now. We in these nice temples and beautiful things, and may God bless us with the nice temples and our new clothes on the new suit. But we'd always hide this stuff, y'all. Let's don't let our stuff get the best of us. Let's don't let our things get us carried. Please say, let don't forget where we come from. Holy Ghost. We got great leaders, great men of God. These great men, great women of God. Let's bring them folks to the streets of these great folks. Let's supervise them, teach them. These preachers and superintendents, train them. Can I get a witness somebody? Oh, I love Jesus, y'all. Hallelujah. Tell somebody, I ain't trying to be a wonder. I'm just one of his. We got too many wonders.
Too many.
I so wonder too. I wonder what spirit leads. I wonder what spirit they be of. All these, they come in with all these lying prophets and stuff. All of them coming in, y'all. These saints down in vineyard, they train. I don't want none of them laying their hands on me. I know that's right. Ain't got one time to come on. You got a good record, you can lay your hands on them. You ain't got no record, they don't know where you come from. You don't know what your hands is. I don't think you put a ton of sanitizer on it. I'm not done. A nation that rejects God rejects his protection. As with the nation of Israel, so goes America. They're at the gate, saints. They're at the gate. The lame are at the gate. I love history. So let me just give you some of this history stuff that I gathered and put together. Every nation and culture of Western civilization is in some way connected to the civilization of ancient Israel. America's civilization is especially connected, as it was founded by the Puritans to be an Israel of the New World. A paradigm likewise is formed out of what took place in ancient Israel. Israel had been founded for the will and purpose of God. Sound like Church of God in Christ. But in time, the nation began falling away. Sound like America. From the God of its foundation. And the foundation on which it had been established. And since they themselves were not creating, since they themselves were now creating their own gods, the Metamorphosis will be representing a turning away from absolute truth. An embracement of subjectivity. If they could create their own truth, then there could be no more absolute truth. Sound like America. Thus, they could now overrule the word of God and create new laws to nullify the laws of God, and a new morality to nullify the standards that they had once viewed as immutable. And so they did. They began driving God out of their public squares. Sounds like America. Out of their government. Sounds like America. Out of the instruction of their children. Sounds like America. Out of their culture and out of their lives. They expunge his word from their public discourse and his law from their collective consciousness. And by driving God out, they created a vacuum. And into that vacuum, they brought in still more gods. Their lives were now permeated with idols and increasingly carnal. Materialism and fragmented. And their civilization was now at war against the foundation on which it stood. So, 9/11 somehow is linked to a prophetic message hidden in America's foundation. September 11 struck the ground where America was consecrated to God. I told you I love history. It pointed back to the day of the consecration, April 30th, 1789. But April 30th, 1789 was also a day of prophecy. The day a prophetic message was given to the newly formed nation. The consequence being the removal of God's favor from the land, said the prophet, the withdrawal of his blessing, the nation's hedge of protection, national calamity. Just as King Solomon on the day of dedication gave a prophetic message concerning his nation's future, so Washington also gave a prophetic message concerning America's future. Waiting for a future generation and appointed for the day of calamity be revealed. A message less than 30 words long. And yet one of the most important messages ever given to the nation. And the message is this: if America upholds God's eternal standards and follow his unchanging ways, then it will be blessed with his favor and his protection.
All right.
The proprietor's smiles of heaven can never be expected on a nation that disregards the eternal. The eternal rules of order and right which heaven itself hath ordained.
All right.
Simply being said, that if America should depart from the ways of God, if it should discard his eternal standards, then the smiles of heaven, the blessings of God will be withdrawn. His prosperity, his protection, and his powers will be taken away. Lincoln was given a warning to his art and his address to America. A warning to this new God-fearing nation. The day America turns away from God will be the day that begins the removing of his blessing.